Hey guys, welcome to a CAS build. Haven't done one of these in a while. CAS has been kind of interesting with me. I've not had like a crazy amount of inspiration, but then it hit full force with this family. So first let me explain the video a little bit. It happens in two parts because inspiration hit after I did kind of the first two characters. I knew I wanted a vampire and like a non-vampire sim, but I just needed them to kind of exist for right now to do the Halloween house. So they live in the house that went up on the channel like the couple of days before Halloween. And they only have one outfit each because they're going to be our Christmas family too, I think, so I'm going to redo some of their outfits for Christmas, and then they'll go up in the gallery probably with the Christmas version of that house. So that's part of why this video is a little funky. Also, I came up with most of their backstory like after meeting them, so then I had to redo it a little bit. So basically, Francisco and Stevie. Francisco is a vampire. He was turned like probably, this is where my gaps in history knowledge are going to show, but probably like 1400s. He was apprenticing with Matthias, who you'll meet in a minute, and Matthias turned him into a vampire because Matthias is a vampire. Matthias is an older vampire, Francisco is a younger vampire. And Francisco had a wife and he had a young daughter who unfortunately he had to leave. They faked his death because people were starting to get a little suspicious as why he wasn't aging and his daughter and his wife were. He kept tabs on them, he knew what was up, but they thought he had died in a shipwreck, and him and Matthias proceeded to just travel the world for the last few hundred years. His daughter ended up not getting married and having kids. She became a nun, which was great, but that also means he has like no family hanging around. She did not continue the family line, and his lovely wife lived to be a wonderful old age, and he knows where she's buried and goes back and visits her grave, and it's very sweet. But he spends his life alternating between working really interesting new careers. He's decided what he wants to do with this era, or going to school and doing different things, and that's how he met Stevie, is he had decided to go back to school. While she was in school, she was a history major, and he was majoring in history because, he didn't have that degree yet, and he experienced most of it, so why not? And they met and fell madly in love, and he was kind of nervous about it because he was like, I don't want to grow old and have to fake my death again with someone I really, really love, because he really, really loved his first wife, and he really, really loved Stevie, and so he decided, since vampires are more of an accepted part of society now, I'm making up some lore as I go, that he was going to tell Stevie, and Stevie had a choice to become a vampire or not. As of right now, not so much. She may decide. That's going to be decided in gameplay, but Stevie is just this really bright, funky, fun personality, and she's really rubbing off on Francisco, and he is really interested in fitting in and having like fitting in with his era and experiencing it all. He's not the kind of vampire who is like, I'm still stuck in the 1800s or something like that. He really, really wants to like grow and experience each era because then he can, share that information. The really cool thing about Stevie is that she's from a foster situation. She's pretty much out on her own, and so her big thing is she understands that having kids with Francisco means having vampire kids, and so she's super keen on that. Like, whatever, that's really cool. She wants kids of her own, but she is so excited to adopt all of the children. They want a giant family, and so she's really keen to get started on that. They're fresh newlyweds. They're gonna hang out and probably enjoy just being each other for a little while, and they just bought a serious fixer-upper, so they need to do a fixer-upper first. But they bought a house that they're very excited to add on to and continue to grow in because they want all of the kids. And they have Matthias living with them, and Matthias is Francisco's mentor. He was apprenticing Francisco in blacksmithing when he turned him into a vampire. I don't know the exact circumstances. They aren't interested in telling me that, but it was there's no grudges held anymore. Obviously it's been several hundred years, so Francisco thinks of Matthias sort of like a father figure or even sort of like a grandfather figure, and Stevie sees him as sort of a father-in-law. He's a little older school. He's still not keen on everyone knowing he's a vampire. He's a little paranoid about it. He's an absolute genius because, he's been around to see most of the major like scientific breakthroughs and stuff, just flying a little bit under the wire, and he's a big fan of correcting the history books, which made his heart so happy when both of these young kids were in history majors, and he was like, that's not how it happened. You obviously need to write it down the way your teacher says on the test, but that is not how it happened. He enjoys that immensely. He also really loves having the cats around, where there's two cats, Molly and Shiloh. I don't know a lot about cat breeds. The cat breeds I've always had are barn cats. I'm joking. But so I picked a black cat and a Bombay cat because they both seemed to fit the vibe, but I feel really bad I don't have reasons for the reasons I picked them, quote unquote. But Shiloh and Molly are hanging around. So it's already a full house. It's already gonna be a really fun full house. Just getting the screenshots was insane. But it's gonna be even more fun because as we play them, there's gonna be kids and stuff. I don't think there'll be kids by the time the Christmas house is built because I'm already kind of working on that and it's October. And like I said, I want them to be able to like work on the house a little bit and get rooms and stuff set up for the kids before they start adopting or having their own. But it's already a really fun full house. A little bit of a side note on this family though, I still am so bad with occultisms. And I think I messed up both Francisco and Matthias's dark forms. I don't totally get the linking versus unlinking thing, and I don't play with occults enough to like get it in my head. So before they go up on the gallery somewhere around at Christmas time, I need to fix their dark forms because I goofed those. Because I went to log in to start working on the Christmas house, and Matthias was in like a full 70s getup, and I was like, what did you do? What did you do? So, but here's the screenshots. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here so you guys can just hang out and enjoy the last of that. And I'll catch you next time, but I'm really keen to see how this family goes. And like I said, I don't usually play with the cult, so I think it's going to be kind of a fun playthrough. But I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you're having a fun, fantastic weekend, and I will talk to y'all very, very soon.